We're talking about Florence Nightingale. From the age of 16, Florence believed that she had a high calling from God, caring for the poor, the wounded, and the sick. This calling eventually took her to Turkey during the Crimean War, to the British Army barracks for the wounded soldiers, whose plight she described as a calamity unparalleled in the history of calamities. It was winter time when Florence and a team of nurses and nuns sailed off to Turkey. They were met with fierce opposition from the medical officers in charge, who simply refused women to enter the barracks. The soldiers were dying by the hundreds from typhus, cholera, and brucellosis infections. For 2 solid months, determined Miss Nightingale would daily plead with the generals. "We were sent here by the British Secretary of War's command. Allow us into the barracks." These officers were trained in the big book of distillation, which was the backbone of British medicine at the time. Using treatments with liquor, they were losing all their patients to these plagues. Florence would later describe the situation at the barracks: hell. Finally, the officers got so frustrated with the medicine which had failed them that they gave up. They said, "We are no longer walking the floors of the dead." Now the generals brought the nurses inside, but only to haul out dead bodies and restore orderliness in this infectious hellhole. Guess what Florence and her team of nuns and nurses did? Apart from cleaning up and overhauling the filthy hospital, they poured 2 bottles of wine, not liquor, wine, fermented grape juice, and a measure of arrowroot in every water bucket, and gave it to every soldier that wasn't dead already. They had miraculous results. The arrowroot stopped the diarrhea instantly. The nutrition in the wine killed the infections and accelerated the healing, which delivered recovery amazingly fast. The dying soldiers were rescued and returned to action. The rest is history. Russian expansion in Europe was stopped by the British, the Ottoman Empire, and the French. Those officers never admitted their liquor medicine had no effect, yet Nightingale's wine and water mix saved the British Army overnight. They only gave her credit for bringing order and sanitation to the barracks. Only now we figured out how her wine cured the soldiers so quickly. Wine kills cholera in 10 seconds, typhus in 15. The acidic pH below 5 in wine kills brucellosis, cholera, and typhus. These plagues withstand high cooking temperatures above 150 degrees, but drinking wine causes a person to survive all 3 plagues. I feel like drinking a toast to Miss Nightingale, whose 200th birthday was celebrated in her memory just a couple of days ago in England. But we have been deprived of the medicine called wine since the beginning of the lockdown. Why? A very good friend of mine who knew President Mandela personally told me that he always said, "My doctor told me that red wine with my meal is good for my heart." I would have loved to drink a toast to him also. I wonder what he would say, hearing that the medicine called wine has been banned in South Africa during the pandemic. I don't think he would be very impressed. Me, the most important is Christ's words. "This cup is the new covenant, sealed with my blood. Every time you break this bread and drink this cup, you are proclaiming my death till I come." For those who still believe that he changed water into grape juice at the wedding, why would the guest ask, "Isn't it custom that you give your best wine first, so that when we get happy, you give us your poor wine last? But you kept the best wine until last." The life is in the blood. Wine represents the blood. it is our custom to drink a toast to his life when we drink wine and say, to life, l'chaim. But now we cannot do that because of the bans. South Africa's vineyards is one of our greatest assets, yielding pure, nutritious drink. It would be devastating to go through this disaster and have no wine to kill bacterial and viral infections, to bring joy and laughter in the darkness. We are asking, please, open up our country, lift these bans on working, earning a living, providing for your family, caring for each other, walking in the sun, being free. We were born free. Let us remain free. My story touched your heart and you understand what we are losing. Send Foxwood an email for my attention and say, Magda, I want to be a part of the plea, and I'll make sure that your voice get heard. Thank you so much.